Hi, Diana here from Empowered Fitness, and I'm here to talk about your post-run recovery. I love going on runs, and a lot of times they get pretty tough at the end, and it's so tempting to want to just be done, get in your car, get home and shower. And I'm here to ask you to take a few minutes to do some recovery moves that are going to really make a big difference long term towards your running health, your body's health, and your running performance. So after your run, typically your best bet is to kind of start to slow things down. So in other words, you wouldn't come off your pretty fast pace and just stop and get in a car. So you're going to come down to a walk and start calming down your cardiovascular system. So one of the big areas that we get tight, and a lot of times if people are changing their run, either their run pace or their run mileage too quickly, or just have done it quickly, is their calves. Calves can start to become very troublesome if not taken care of. So after your run, this is so easy. You can do it standing up. So you can either have your body using your own body for support, or I like to actually use like a fence if I'm out on the trail still, or my car, side of the car. But you're gonna press back, and you can see I've got both toes pointed forward, and I'm really pushing my heel towards the floor because I need to stretch this top part of my calf. Now, before you switch to the other side, I'm gonna have you bring that back foot in a little bit and now press your knee down. This is not stress on your knee. What it is by keeping your heel to the ground, you are going deeper into that lower muscle. It's called the soleus, and it's gonna be attached down here at your Achilles. So we're adding that stretch right there. Both really key stretches after a run. So you've done one side, you literally can just turn around, stretch back. Again, having a hand on a fence post or a car makes for great support. And just make sure you get that where you bring your foot in about 6 inches, press down, and really get that Achilles stretch. We have to practice stretching our Achilles. It's not very vascular. It needs that extra attention. All right, another important area is your hip flexor. We use it over and over repetitively in our run, and we need to open it up. So what you want to do from a standing position is go ahead and get some pressure forward with your pelvis, right? So I'm stretching that muscle. Right here I'm stable, and I'm bringing my arms up, and I'm tipping over to that front leg, the one that's out in front. I'm tipping that over, and I'm really extending that stretch. Super, super helpful. And get the other side, this feels great. So coming on down, I've got that little bit of a pelvic tilt. That's important to help stretch that area right here in front, your hip flexor, taking it up and taking it over. That's awesome. Now from here, if I'm on my second side, I can literally come down to a mat or a grass or somewhere where you're not gonna bother your knee too much, and lean forward. And if you can see my back leg, I'm gonna turn a little bit. I've kind of turned it in, so like kind of at 45 degrees, and I'm gonna push forward. So I'm letting gravity, wish I turn here a little, I'm letting gravity stretch through this hip in the front, and then I can go ahead and take my other leg forward, turn my leg in, and lean forward. So I'm letting gravity help me by just leaning forward. I'm not arcing my back at all. I'm taking my whole body forward and stretching through these. Fairly simple, really, really effective. So after that, I like to get into a couple really helpful stretches. One is a downward dog, basically pressing yourself with your fingers open, pushing your heels towards the floor. You can see I've really pushed them back, and holding where I push backwards, I'm getting a stretch in my low back, back of my legs. And if you bring your feet in just a bit, you can also pump out those heels. That's now back to our calf stretch, getting some hamstring stretch. And then great for that deep glute muscle area in your hips. You bring your knee through. I'll turn it sideways here. This is called a pigeon stretch. It looks like a number 4. I've got one leg kind of across the front, and I'm gonna slowly lower my body down. I can come down to my forearms. This is an awesome stretch. You're gonna feel that deep in your glute, and that is a key area as that piriformis gets pretty tight when you run. And right here, we're giving it a good stretch, giving it some blood flow. And then to get out of that, always make sure you press your body off the ground to be nice to that knee. Bring your other knee through, coming across in that 4, and come on down. Oh, it feels so good. You're gonna love it. And after a run, you're really gonna notice that your body kind of is craving that stretch. And come on up. So I would typically ask that you hold these stretches for about 30, 40 seconds. If you feel really good and want to hold it longer, that's great. But you need enough time for those muscle fibers to actually relax. And so try not to rush it. If you are outside somewhere and have a hard time getting down to the ground, do a few at least of the standing stretches. And then when you get home, you can do a couple more of the down dog, the pigeon stretch, so that by the time you hit the shower, you've given your body a little recovery stretch. So hope you have a great run. Go out there and crush it, and we'll see you soon.